Hey guys, Jumpatron here, and I'm back doing another video tutorial on Blender, how to make an FPS. When we left off last time, we started off with a basic thing. We have ourselves a foot, a platform, a head, and a gun. And when you play it, you can see you can look up and down, left and right, and stuff like that. Today, I'm going to show you how to do shooting real bullets, the shooting animation, and if we get around to it, moving and grenades, but I don't know that we will. So the first thing that we're going to do is, this is just a solid object. I figured that out. So we're not going to really be able to do the reload animation like we wanted. So what we're going to do is we're going to work on the zooming in and the shooting. So what we're going to do is we're going to come down here and we're going to make sure that this is clicked as an object. And this is the Scar H. And so what we're going to do is we're going to start here, and we're going to hit I, and we're going to insert a keyframe lock-rot scale, or location, rotation, and scale. And what that's going to do is that's going to set that there. That's going to set that there. And then what we're going to do is we're going to move it to about 5, because I think it would take about 5. And we're just going to move this back a little bit, like so. Actually, what I'm going to do here is I'm going to click here, I'm going to go origin, or, I'm sorry. Whatever, it's close enough. Normally you want to do origin to geometry, and what that does is it will, make things much simpler. Anyway, so now what we're going to do is we're going to, start it where it is. Actually, I guess we'll just move it out to where we want it. And it doesn't matter what you do, because you can always overlap one. So we're going to put it here, because this is where we want our gun. We're going to hit I, and we're going to input a lock-rot scale. Then we're going to go to about 5, and we're going to move this back towards the camera. Just a little bit, like that. Now we're going to hit I, and we're going to input another lock-rot scale. And see, we can see it's at 5, so if we just type the into 5, what we have is this, like a gun shooting. And how to set that up to it is we can, I guess, make it a lot simpler by doing an action editor and a dope sheet. That might be simpler, but I think what we're going to do is we're just going to, I don't know, we'll just do this. So we're going to go down here, and we're going to add a sensor. We're going to add a mouse sensor, and it's going to be left button, because we want it to be like when it clicks. So we're going to do this, and then we're going to do, close that. We're going to add an AND controller, and we're going to add an actuator, and it's going to be an action actuator. And what we're going to do is we're just going to have it play the animation Scar H action. And when we connect them all, if we, I'll show it to you both ways. First way is this. If we hit play and we move around and we, oops, make sure you, this should be correct. Hold on. Simple fix. I can't, hold on. Click that and hit play. I'm not entirely sure what's wrong here. Oh! I forgot to enter in the start frame and the end frame. It doesn't know where to play unless the start frame and the end frame are there. So we're going to input 1, because we start at 1 right here. It'll tell you where you start and end. And we're going to go to end frame, and we're going to hit 5 and then enter. now if we hit play, there we go, see? And you hold it down, it'll do that. But if you let go, it'll stop. So you can move around and you can shoot like that. So yeah, you gotta make sure you input the start and the end frame located right here. Now let me show you that in first-person view. This is kind of like how your game will be set up. You know, you can look around and like that. And I guess while we're already doing logic bricks and animations, I might as well do the zoom in. So what we're gonna do for the zoom in is when you move the gun, it doesn't really work as well as it should. So what I do is I move the camera, because generally when you go to zoom in, you don't just move the gun right to your eyes, you kind of move your head as well. So that's what we're gonna do. We're gonna go into this, and then we're gonna select the camera, make sure it's just the camera that's selected, and you'll know it's selected when these are done. So I think we're gonna end it at, let's just do 40 for now, and then we'll do 0. So what we're going to do is we're going to I, and then set location, Lockrot scale. And then what we're going to do is we're going to G on the camera. Oops, I'm sorry. What we're going to do is we're going to move it to about 10. I think that, maybe 20. That might be as long as it should take. Now we're going to hit G on this, and we're going to move it to where it is aiming where we want it. And we can hit G and then double Z, which will allow us to zoom in and out. And then we can G and do all this. So just depends on where you want it, really. This isn't really working as well as I thought it would. Oops. Select the... What? Sorry. Select camera. There we go. So move that. I don't know what's wrong here. It's not really selecting the camera. So yeah. So basically what you want to do is you just want to G and move it to where it looks pretty good. I guess this is about as good as we're going to get. But I'm thinking maybe we can move the gun back and the camera forward. Maybe the camera up a little. No, camera can go down. A little more down. A little bit. A little bit. Perfect. And now we're going to zoom in a little. Zoom out a little. Out a little. I'm guessing this is about as good as we're going to get on that, so we'll just Lockrot scale, and what that's going to do is it's going to do that. And we're going to, let's just end it at 20. Now when we do this, it'll move the camera. That's not looking so hot. Alright then, so let's just move over here, started at 30, ended at 60. Sorry, I'm not like a wizard, but I really don't know how to delete your keyframes that you've already made, so yeah. We're just going to move this back over here and out. There we go. Move the camera back to center. That. I'd say that looks good. Okay, so let's try this again. I didn't really have that much trouble when I did it last time, but yeah, so I do not know what the deal with this camera is. That was really ticking me off. So what we're going to do is we're going to set location, or keyframe, Lockrot scale, and then we're going to move to about, I'd say 50, and then move the camera to try and zoom into this. Some guns will be easier, some guns will be just as hard, and other guns will be even harder, so yeah. I guess it's as good as we're gonna get it. Right there, so yeah. I don't know, I'd say that's about good. We'll just call it that. And then we're going to input Lockrot scale, and then we're going to end it at 50. So now when we play this, it'll see that your gun zooms in to where it needs to go. So what we're going to do is we're going to click on the gun, and then we're going to add a sensor, and this is going to be another mouse sensor. And we're going to do right button, and we're going to do this. I'm going to add an AND controller. And then we're going to go down here to action, and we're going to do the same thing, pretty much. We're going to do start at 30, end at 50. But instead of play, we're going to do flipper. And this is going to be eyes action, since it's the camera moving. And it's going to be flipper. Make sure it's set to flipper. And we're going to connect all these up. And if you start, it should start here. And when you do this... I'm sorry. That's placed weird. We have another little dilemma here. I don't know what's happening to this. Yeah, that's weird. So obviously the gun is growing in size severely, and that's what's happening. Maybe now? Nope, still grows in size. So... I do not know what's happening there. Why don't we get back to that in a little bit? But for now, I think we'll just do, bullets. Bullets are fine. So what you're going to do is you're going to select whatever you want your bullets to come out of. In this case, we want it to be the gun. And we're going to go to layer 2. And then we're going to add... we're going to go to File, and we're going to Import. Normally, you could do whatever you want. You can add a sphere, scale it down, do whatever you want there. But I already have... a bullet downloaded, modeled, so we're going to import that OBJ. I'll leave a link for that as well. Bullet, import, and here it is, this bullet. Nothing too fancy. Then we're going to scale it down, and then we're going to rotate it like that. And we're going to do origin to geometry. There we go. And what we're going to do is we're going to set up some properties for this. We're going to go... appears that my blender's not working properly. Oh, there it goes. Then we're going to add a always, a and motion. And what we're going to do is, since it's facing the y-axis, we're going to have it shoot positive up the y-axis, and we're going to connect it to this, and we're going to connect it to this. So basically, whenever play is started, on the second layer, it will always go up on the y-axis. So then what we're going to do is we're going to go into this layer and select our gun. And what we're going to do is we're going to do mouse sensor, and we're going to click this, and whenever the left button is pressed, we're going to add an AND controller and connect them both. So whenever the left button is pressed, it is going to add the bullet to the game. So since it's always moving, what's going to happen is if we hit play, it will add the bullet facing the wrong direction. Oopsies. I guess I'm not so hot as I was last time. So let's get the bullet. Click that. And we need to make it go on the negative y-axis. And we're going to want to click. Now we're going to want to go to here, and we're going to want to set the frequency on this. We're going to want to set the frequency to about 4, maybe 6. Let's check it at 6, see what goes on there. Then at 4. First, we're going to need to scale these way down, and then make it a little faster. So first, what we're going to do is we're going to make it faster by doing that to 4. And then we're going to go to the second layer, and we're going to click the bullet, and we're going to hit this. We're going to rotate it the opposite direction, and we're going to scale it way down. And you know, we'll just color it just for the heck of it. Just make it a goldish yellow. There we go. So now if we go back to here and we hit play, it should shoot bullets wherever we're facing. Yet again, they're facing the wrong way. So I'll fix that. We really need to scale these suckers way down. We still need to scale this way down and rotate this. Now if we go to this and we hit play, everything's working out okay, except we still need to make these way smaller. I guess I'm not good at sizing today. I'm sorry, guys. Way smaller. So now if we go here and we click play, that's way better, wouldn't you say? Now wherever we go, it'll follow. And yeah, it just shoots bullets, and these bullets, since they have static, whenever they hit an object, they will affect that object in such a way, and we'll get into that later. But yeah, so everything's working pretty good. The animation's going good. I don't know what happened with the zoom animation. I think I'll just put that in the next tutorial after I figure out what was wrong with it. Don't really want to waste your guys' time with that. But I think what I'll do is I'll add grenades at the moment, and then later I'll teach you how to make them explode. But for now, we'll add the grenades. So what we're going to do is we're going to Shift C, and we're going to center this. Make sure nothing's selected here. Deselect that. And then go here. And we're going to Shift A, and we're going to add a cube. We're going to scale this cube way down. Like, way, way down. And you're going to figure out whether this is going to be his right arm or his left arm. Depends on what you want. So let's say we want to make it his right arm, so we're going to move it over here. And what you're going to want to do is if you want it to follow the camera, which you're going to want to do in case you want to like throw a grenade in the air or something, you're going to move it to where you want it. And then you're going to shift select the head. And you're going to control P, object, keep and transform. So now when the head moves, the cube will move as well. And what we're going to do is basically we're going to set up the thing with the bullet. I'm going to go over to here where we have our bullet. And I have a grenade that I modeled. Let me open that up for you real quick. We're going to file, import, OBJ, and there it is. We're going to import this grenade model, like so. See, basic low poly model. Model it with a UV sphere and some cubes, a little bit like that. Anyway, we're going to scale it way down because we don't need it to be much bigger than the bullet. We're going to move it like this and like this. And we're kind of just going to rotate it like you would if you're throwing a grenade. That. Maybe even scale it down a little more. I don't know. And what we're going to do is we're going to just click this, and we're going to add always and motion. So we're going to add an always sensor, an and controller, and a motion. We're going to do this -y. We're going to do this. We're going to do this, and we're going to connect it with this. And now, if we go to this one, and we click on this, we'll just name this hand. And we're going to add a keyboard sensor, and we're going to do tap, and then we're going to put the G key, G for grenade. You can put whatever key you want. I just tend to put G for grenade because that's like how it's much simpler. When I add knife for you guys, I'll probably do knife, a K for knife instead of like control, shift, whatever. And then we're going to add an actuator, edit object, add object, grenade. Then we're going to just connect these. You can do this if you want, but it'll always add an AND controller. So only do that if you want to add an AND controller. And then if you hit play and you tap G, it'll shoot out grenades. Oh, you know what? It's actually shooting out of the top. My bad. So what you're going to want to do is you're going to want to go to a side view. 1. And then you're going to want to rotate it to where the top is now facing outward. Like that. Now if we hit play, and we want to throw a grenade, it'll throw a grenade for us. Oops, out of the side. So we're going to escape, front view, nope, top view, my bad. And then rotate it to where that's like that. Okay, now I think I got it down. Sorry guys, not really on it today. Now if we throw, there we go, see, it'll throw a grenade out of your object here, and it'll kind of just throw it. That's why you're not just going to have an open map. In another tutorial, I'll teach you how to make a map, but the FPS tutorial is not going to include that. But yeah, because if you don't, it'll just continuously go, pew, just launch. Same with the bullets. They'll just forever launch until they collide with something. Yeah. So, I think we're going to end the tutorial here. I'd like to just apologize again for the mic. My mic isn't actually that great. So tune in for the next tutorial. That time for sure I will have the thing fixed, and I will add motion, and you're not going to need to run a script. They've added so much easier now. So I'll add up, down, left, right, and jump. And then next one I'll probably teach you how to I'll probably just teach you how to do like a basic reload animation, and then a knife, and you'll have basically everything you need for that. And then we'll get off that, and then I'll do a texturing. So yeah.